Hey, Bobby, thank you so much for being here today. We're so grateful that we get to interview you. I would love if you could introduce yourself.
Sure. Thanks for having me on the show. My name's Bobby Aldridge. I've been basically a sports kinesiologist for over 30 years. And when I started, I went to the University of San Francisco, got out, and started getting a bunch of certifications, learning how to help people improve their performance and reduce their pain. And in all these years of doing this, I've figured out that mobility is the key to improving performance and reducing pain. So, from the highest level of pro athletes all the way down to the senior who just wants to walk and play with the grandkids, I call everybody an athlete. So you all are athletes because we all do something every day. We all move, whatever that is, and we want to move pain free. So with the years and years of experience, I would notice that when I would leave with my pro athletes, a lot of my clients would be a little bit lost with their movements. And I used to draw like lines on a yoga strap to help them out. And I used to put different things to help them. And one day I came up with, hey, I should put some numbers on that and just grab it at 28. And then I came up with another tool to help them with movement based on a need. And it was like I came up with a bunch of different pieces of equipment to help you guys at home do these exercises when I wasn't standing there. And it's based on a metric and it's your metric. So you get to see kind of where you are and how to progress it. So in all that time, it's been really nice that I can help people actually, and especially since Zoom now is like a big thing. I mean, I have people all over the world that I can literally talk to on Zoom and say, yeah, put your foot at the second box, right? Because that's my mat back there on the floor. And basically, it has the boxes and the numbers, and you can say, yeah, just put your feet a little bit wider. But my experience of all this, I wanted to write some books to help people just kind of get an understanding of that. And so over the last couple of years, I wrote 3 books, which you can get on Amazon. If you just put my name in, Bobby Aldridge, it'll pop up. But I talked about corporate wellness, I talked about golf, and I talked about physical therapy. So it's like the world out there is kind of lost with movement, and they do a lot of fitness. There's a lot of shiny objects. Everybody's watching the YouTubes and the TikToks and all this stuff. So there's a lot of information, but nobody's measuring their mobility, the movement that they have. So I've tried to simplify it with that. And the books, I hope, help with just getting you started to understand that. And that's kind of a background.
Amazing. I would love if you could tell us more about what your books are about.
So I explain like the reasons why we measure everything out there: blood pressure, sets, reps, your swing speed. All these things are measured, but nobody measures mobility. And what is mobility? Basically, to explain it so people can hear it live, is you take your feet and you put your feet as wide as you can. Okay. So you're standing up, you put your feet as wide as you can possibly go. Then go down and put your hands on the ground and try to get your feet wider. Go as wide as you can, right? Now come up from that position. If you can come up, you own that range of motion, which is mobility. If you can't come up, right, then you don't have that range. You don't own that range. That's why a lot of people get injured in yoga. They keep getting further and further and further and further, but they don't own the range of motion. So all of a sudden they get hurt. Okay. If you own the range of motion that you're strong enough and you can come up out of that position, then you're not going to get injured, right? It's going to help you stay healthy. So that's what I talk about in the book and explain to simplify that why you want to use it, what's the importance for longevity, for health, how simple it is. Anyone can do this at home, and and I just give explanations and I show pictures and I tell stories. I did a before and after picture back in the day. I was the first guy 30 years ago. Bill Phillips' book. He had a contest going on, and I was working hard. I gained the weight on purpose. Okay, because I was ripped and shredded. And everybody said, "Oh, you just don't understand what it's like to be fat." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" In college, I broke my back in a car accident and I gained 60 pounds and I had cellulite on me. I was fat. They didn't believe me because I used to walk around at 0 body percent fat. And so I gained all this weight on purpose. I got in the contest and I, I basically lost that weight in 2.5 months. Okay. So I sent my pictures in and they kicked me out of the contest and said that wasn't possible to do what I did. I was so mad because I worked so hard. I got the next day I sent my pictures to the biggest supplement company in the industry and said, hey, I used your product and got a great result. They called me the next day and said, we want to use you. So I became a spokesperson for 5 years about supplements. And what I told people back then is you can do anything you want with your body. It just depends on, are you willing to do the work and follow through on it? It's more about consistency, right? So the books show and talk about things like that. They show, I just want to inspire you guys that you can do this. It doesn't matter where you are. It's just a little bit of a mountain sometimes. Okay. Where are you on the mountain, right? Are you at the peak or are you at the bottom? But you got to start moving, because if you're at the peak, you want to stay there, right? Those are my pro athletes. They're at the peak. They want to stay there. If they get injured, what happens? They start going down the mountain and eventually they're gone. See you later. Okay. And it's a big deal for people to stay at the peak. And for the average person, they just want to walk the mountain and feel better, right? And so these exercises that they can learn in the book, we talk about these different ones that you can do and why, is you will feel better immediately. That week that you start doing these things, you'll start going, oh, wow, my back. Oh, my shoulders feel better. And it's super simple. You do it in your house. You do little windmills on the wall. You do a runner stretch. You do a bretzel. You guys can learn all this stuff if you go to the website and start researching it and understanding it, or go to Amazon and get a book and kind of read and understand it. But this isn't a quick fix. This isn't the shiny object. 30 years of experience and scientifically backed stuff that we've been doing with all the trainers around the world that I've worked with and got the knowledge from is how I've taught this stuff. And I'm excited to help people virtually now with, they order the mat, the blocks, the bands, and I have a program where I'll do 30 minutes, 4 sessions, 30 minutes live with you, and I'll help you get started. So you say, hey, I'm a golfer. Hey, I like to play pickleball. Hey, I like to just walk. I can't walk a block. My body hurts. You will start to feel better if you start doing these exercises. So it's money well spent in that way to help you feel better. Yeah.
Love that. What inspired you to write your book?
I've been thinking about it for several years, like 10 to 15 years, since I started this company about 13 years ago. I was like, I got to get the message out. So if somebody has because I have to brain dump on them, right? I'd rather them just get one of the books and kind of read it and then ask some questions, so they have a little bit better understanding. And so that's why I thought I'd write these different books, because corporate wellness, they say they have corporate wellness, but they don't really help the employee. Okay. Physical therapy, the patient, they send you home and you guys don't know what to do when you get home. My mat helps you do that. That's another thing. And then a golfer who has pain, back pain, I sit in the PGA fitness van and the therapy van, and I watch these guys walk in and go, hey, work on my right here, my PSIS joint. They don't know what it is, but they say my back right here, right? And they do it all the time. They shouldn't have that pain. Playing golf, back pain is not a part of golf. Moving incorrectly is a part. Being dysfunctional, having compensations, having these dysfunctions, that's what causes the pain. And if you do these simple exercises I teach you, it starts to reduce that pain. It takes that pressure away. So that's why I wanted to write these books. And one of the things that really hammered it home for me was I was working with the San Francisco Giants baseball team. I was working with the doctor's wife. She had back pain for 9 months. She saw me on Wednesday, the following Wednesday, and the third Wednesday. On that Thursday, she went out and played golf and shot her lowest round ever, pain-free. On Friday, she played again. She beat that score, her best score ever. She beat it the next day. So her husband comes over and goes, what the heck are you doing with her? Like, she's pain-free. She's playing amazing golf. What are you doing? So I worked with him for about 2 weeks, and he says to me, have you thought about writing a book on this? And I'm like, yeah, I've actually been working on 3 of them. And he's all, you need to get this out because it's so simple. And I said, the reason it's simple is because for me, I'm not that smart a guy. I've been looking at all these guys for so many years and taken from all these best trainers. But what I've learned to do is try to make it easier for you guys to be able to do this when I'm not standing there. Like, how do I do this like a professional? Now you can. You'll know that your feet are 1 box apart, 2 boxes apart, and then 3 boxes apart. That makes you a professional instantly. And I have all the videos that you can watch and learn how to do this. But the books just give you just a minimum amount of information to help you because they're small, right? To understand why you want to start this. That's what I'm trying to get you to do. And yeah, I hope you guys will check it out. So,
Love that. When you were writing your books, who are you thinking of when it comes to who your books are for?
wow. Mine was really hitting when well, again, I did these three for the three specific reasons. One was for the golf world to talk to them. One was specifically for the employer so they can understand why they want to do the corporate wellness with the tools. And then the other one was the physical therapy world. So if I run into a physical therapist, rather than dump on them all this stuff I've got in my head, it's like just kind of read the book and ask questions. Flip through the book. And then when you have some questions, let's talk about that. Those are the three main avenues I hit for now, but it's really for everyone. The moves I teach, it's not about the sport it's about the person. So it's really about the person and how they move. So everybody is human. Okay. Everybody needs to side bend, to bend the hamstrings. They sit all day, right? They sit in the office, they sit in a chair. So I wrote it for the specific reasons I did, but I could come out with a different book for pickleball. I could come out with a different book for seniors. I could come out with a book for anything because what I teach is even if you're a pro athlete or a grandma, you both come to me, you guys are starting with the same exercises because you're human. Make sense? Now there's different levels of it. Maybe the professional athlete moves really well, so I can increase him faster to what things we're going to add to that. But he's going to start with the basics. Most programs, and I assess them based on how they move with the tools. So you see how you move today. How far can you get your feet apart while you're doing a windmill? Are they 4 boxes apart? Are they 5 boxes apart? I would suspect grandma would have trouble getting her feet to 3 boxes. That's going to be difficult. Her balance is going to be off, all that. The pro athlete, I suspect, should get to 5 boxes, but he's going to tell me, oh my God, my shoulders are on fire right now with what I have him do. Because I'll have him do 3 sets of 33. I'll have grandma do 3 sets of 10. So it's different reps for what we're doing to see the movement. Because I'm not going to tell grandma to go do 3 sets of 33 unless she's in spectacular shape. Okay. So you will see today, like, oh, I can do this. Oh no, my left shoulder's killing me right now when I do this. Why is that? Then we talk about that. So there's just levels of movement and that sort of thing.
Love it. How long have you been writing and what made you really sit down and start?
Oh my God, I've been writing for like years. Like I had so much content, many ideas. That's what took so long of how am I going to tell this story and keep it simple because I can't tell you about all the muscle groups and the reasons and the complication of, it would overwhelm you guys and it'd be boring as hell. So how do I simplify it is what was the most difficult thing. And that took years and years and years and years to come up with what I have now, where I show basically I have a sheet of paper that has like 7 exercises on it. And it's like, it just shows you exactly what it is. And if you guys email me, I will give you that sheet to show you these are the basics that you should be doing, whether you're grandma or not. I mean, I literally take everyone through these movements. And the movement is the assessment that you can see how you're moving. So, yeah.
Love it. What is your schedule like when you are writing a book?
Um, Fit it in when I can. And weekends are the best for me because I try to take off Sunday. But again, I'm doing something today. And it's always a matter of, where can I fit it in? And you got to schedule it in, you got to really put the time there to make sure you get it in. Otherwise, you can be busy all the time. So, yeah, that's how I did it. I just fit it in as I went.
Love it. What do you need in your writing space to help you stay focused?
Hmm. Sometimes it's the place I go to. So I might be sitting by the ocean and at a nice hotel overlooking, and that clears my mind and gets me comfortable. And I put on the earphones. So it's like soundproof. And it might be some soft music, some Josh Groban, some really nice music, and just let the brain run. Might be a glass of wine, just to kind of calm down and mellow out. And I feel like that's when I'm at my most creative. Um, but it really matters having that quiet space to let the more you can calm down and just let it come to you, rather like come through you, rather than like force it and push it. I think that's the best because then you get like the real stuff out that you need to really write well.
Love that. What is your favorite writing snack and drink?
Mm, mm. Snack. Well, probably cheese and crackers, and I'll go with the wine.
Love it. What type of books do you personally enjoy reading?
Oh God. Because I'm in the health and wellness, I dive into a lot of the books of guys that are writing about movement and functional movement. And I search the internet on certain people that I follow. So more than books, I'll hit webinars, and I hit a lot of that just information that I can grasp to. I mean, I was reading Relentless. That was the last book I was reading. But a lot of times it's really fitting it into what I'm doing because I'm so busy right now. So it's tough to have that time. And I'm always trying to upgrade what I'm teaching. So I spend literally, my wife was saying to me yesterday, you need to take a day off. Like, because even if I'm off, I'm not off. I sit there and I'm like thinking, what can I make better? What can I do? Because like I told you guys, there's so many avenues to touch. How do I make it better for that one avenue? And I'm always thinking how to make it better. So I research a lot, but Relentless was the last book I read, which is pretty cool.
Love it. Are there any books or authors that inspired you to become a writer?
Um, Not really. No, I wouldn't say somebody that inspired me. It just maybe like guys I know, like Todd Durkin, who's in the fitness industry, who's written a lot of books. He'd be one of the guys. He's a good friend that we know. But it was more just to kind of tell the story and try to help people because I'm getting older and it's getting like I have a kind of a lot of wisdom to give them that people are chasing stuff to try to feel better. And I literally had a guy here yesterday who told me, man, Bob, I've seen physical therapists, chiropractors, doctors. No one's helped me. And it's been 2 years. And that's literally the kind of people I get all the time that drop in. An athlete that's hurt. He's like, Bob, I need to get back out there. What do I need to do? So I was just thinking, I want to share that with more people. And I'd like you just to kind of not feel pressured by me, but just kind of look at the book and, what feels good to you and then make a decision to help these people. I think the book just makes it simple for you to kind of understand why you need to do this. So,
Love that. What books did you grow up reading? Did you have an all-time favorite?
I don't know, all time favorite for me. Really, I was an athlete. So books were like, I'd start reading and I'd read the paragraph. I'd read two paragraphs and then I go, shit, what did I read? Oh my God, go back. Right. So my brain was like, I'm like ADHD and I'm 54. So I didn't really diagnose ADHD back in the day, but I think I had it because my son has it diagnosed. And so I would start reading and jump off of a book. And I always like the pictures. I would scan and I'd really so um, I was more of a movies guy in that way back in the day. So I'd like The Wizard of Oz. I was like big time. I'd watch that over and over as a kid. I'd dive into the movies because my brain would get more into that where I'd get lost in the words of reading a book. That's another reason why I kind of wrote this book so simple is because I remember me having trouble reading. Now I can sit down, I can relax a little bit and be more like an adult and read that book. But back when I was younger, it was like scatterbrain. It was hard. It was very my son said, "God, Papa, that's the way I feel." And I said, "I know, I get it." So I said, when you read, you have to read like you're looking at a movie. And you have to really put it into a movie in your head as you're reading so you can feel what's going on. Where instead we used to just read the words, right? And then it was like, oh my God, what did I just read?
Love that so much. On the other side of that, now as an adult, what are your favorite series or authors that if they come out with something, you automatically grab it?
again, it would be like Todd Durkin, it'd be like Mike Boyle, it'd be like um, um, Eric Cressy. These are all athlete trainers, specific trainers to pro athletes. And I just want to stay up on the knowledge and know stuff that if I'm doing something that is wasting someone's time, I want to take it away and add what they're doing because it's better. So I have no lockdown on saying this is the best. My way is the way. I'm always grabbing from these guys. So I would be grabbing books from all the top guys. Gray Cook, another guy. But these are health and wellness books to help you understand movement and probably boring for most people in the way of, unless it's Todd Durkin like telling you as a not a trainer but as a customer that's coming in to kind of lose weight or get in better shape or feel better. Those are good books for that. So yeah.
Love that. What would you tell someone just starting out with reading again?
um, just starting to read again, read
Yes.
stuff that makes you get engaged. Like, what engages you? What's your why are you reading it? Are you there to just kind of, is it fiction or nonfiction? What are you trying to get out of it? For me, I read a lot of books that I want to learn. So true stories, things that are teaching me, right? I feel like I don't have time for the ones where you're just going to go off in la la land. I'm really don't have that much time. So I'm trying to get more of that kind of reading. So I would say find your passion to what you enjoy to get started in the love of reading and then build up on that to other things. But it's like talking to my athletes. What's your why? Why are you reading? What's your book and why? And then as soon as you figure that out, you'll engage into that book.
Love that. On the other side of that, what would you tell someone just starting to write their own book?
Um, well, like I said, just get started and don't think too much about, you got to brain dump first. And you have to go, just literally go find your happy place, get comfortable, get more zen, like really calm down, find your spot where you're very comfortable, put on the headphones, keep it quiet, and just sit there and think. And whatever's coming to the mind, let it start writing. You got to let brain dump first. If you sit there and try to write the perfect book off the start, you're never going to get started. So you have to just sit down and start brain dumping. And as you're brain dumping, you can go through it and see like later, oh, keyword, circle it, keyword, circle it, keyword, circle it. Then go deeper on that on another section and don't think again. Again, just put it away, come back to the words that you circled. And what does that make you think of? What more do you want to, and go deeper and go deeper and go deeper. And eventually you'll get an idea of all this information that you have down. Now, how are you going to organize that? And you have people that can help you do that. So you don't have to panic about how am I going to organize all this? And with the chat GPTs and all this nowadays, it's crazy what people are putting out like instantaneously. But if you're a good reader, you can kind of see it because you can see the lacking of the heart and purpose in there. You know what I mean? So I think just find your quiet place and then brain dump, get started if you want to write a book. And it could be years. It doesn't have to be today. It doesn't have to be next week. It doesn't have to be this year. It could be 5 years down the road, which will take a lot of pressure off you to write a book because you feel like, okay, I'm going to write a book. I need to get this done in 6 weeks. Well, that's pressure you're putting on yourself that you don't need. So just start it and see where it goes. Make a goal. You want to write a book and then change the process of the time so you don't feel that pressure because you won't do your
Love,
best work if you feel pressure.
love that so much. What's one thing that people are generally surprised to find out about you?
Oh boy. Huh. I don't know. Probably that I was the fat guy back in the day. That's probably one of them. Yeah, they would never suspect that until I show them the picture. It's in the book. I put it in all three books just so you kind of get that idea. But what else? I actually am quiet. Like people think I'm a talk, talk, talk. But when I leave my work and I go sit down, I'm actually calm and quiet. And I think they'd be shocked because they think when I'm around, I just talk a mile a minute to feed them stuff to help them, blah, 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 blah. So I would say that would be the other thing is I'm Like Sunday afternoon, I'm a quiet guy watching golf on TV.
Love it. Is there anything you would like to say or add?
Um, I just hope this helps and it was educational in the way of you guys learning something, and I hope you got something out of it that helps you. And I hope you take a look at bam-metrics.com and get the blocks and the bands. And if you're wanting to improve your performance and feel better, you need to give this a try, because I've been doing this 30 years, and you'll actually be able to do this on your own. So if you go to the website and scroll down on the left side, there's the athlete program, and you'll get 4 sessions with me, 30 minutes, and I can help you guys understand this if you want to feel better. And again, if you're not sure, order the book on Amazon. Go to Amazon, Bobby Aldridge, and order the book, read it a little bit, and see if that makes more sense to you. So you understand this isn't the shiny object. This is the thing to help you. And literally this morning, I had an athlete here who's doing everything. Okay. He's doing everything right. But he had 6 holes in his workout that I plugged. I plugged it and made it better. And he left here like, God, my shoulder feels better. And it's like, because they're not doing the simple, they're doing all the shiny stuff. But everybody wants to jump to the second, third, and fourth floor, but they don't understand the foundation. And once you understand a good, solid foundation in your house, you can build the second, third, and fourth floor. So anyway, hope you guys will give it a try. I hope I helped. And thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I just have one more question for you. So, where's the best place for readers to find your book? I know you mentioned Amazon. Is there any other places? Is signed copies an option and the best place to connect with you?
Best place, you can send me an email at Bobby, Bobby, at bammotion.com, BAMMOTION.com. So it's 2 M's in the middle, Bam Motion. And send me an email and say, hey, I'd like to get more information. I can send you guys the PDF that I was talking about so you guys can see that. And then, like I said, you can go to Amazon to get the books. That's the main spot I carry them. And yeah, so
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here today. We're so grateful that we got to interview you. We'll be sure to drop those links in the show notes. That way everyone can find you. And again, thank you so much.
yeah, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.